back to another episode of From Corner to Corner Podcast, episode 331.
Sean, you know what that means?
We've done 330 podcasts so far.
We're 1 month away and a few days of being able to say you can listen to one episode of From Corner to Corner a day and not repeat an episode. 365, that's all we got to get to.
Yeah.
Hogan turns heel all the way till today.
You could do a different one every
single day.
Yep, for a year.
And not hear anything different.
You'll probably hear the same thing twice a few times.
Yeah. We've been known to drive home points before, right?
No. Not on this show we don't.
Chase is awake.
He's got to make sure that he gets his voice in on every episode.
At this time, if you will, gentlemen, ladies, please rise, remove your hats, place your hand over your heart for the playing of our national anthem.
I'm supposed to start hitting you now, right?
No, we play that because we spank Canada's hind end. So if you're from Canada and you're listening to this, that's your national anthem now. Okay? You're an American citizen. Leave your Timmy Hoes and all that crap up north. You belong in the Waffle House right now.
We just beat you at your own sport.
What's that got to feel like? Your best sport, our fourth best sport on a good day, and we own it. Red, white, and blue don't run, baby.
Now, this drops on a Saturday morning. We play them again on Thursday, so hopefully we've owned them again.
Did you not see what the Kachuk brothers did to them?
I did.
Sean,
I ain't worried.
You gotta have faith, son. Faith.
I didn't say that I didn't. I'm just saying.
I bet when the USA went up against the USSR, you didn't have faith then either, did you?
Nobody did.
That's why it's called the Miracle on Ice.
Right.
'Cause that team believed. You got to believe in these boys.
Yeah.
If you didn't get chills up and down, well, goosies, sorry. We call them goosies on this show.
Right.
If you didn't get the goosies, when you looked at TikTok the next day and the video leaked from U.S. Hockey with them just jamming out to Dream On while taking their stuff off, you ain't got blood in your veins.
That's true. That's true. So, how do we get back to the rematch with Canada? I know we
It's
play
around-
Finland tonight, right?
Sweden. Canada beat Finland earlier 5-3, which clinched their spot in the championship. It's a round robin type
So
of
Finland and Sweden get no chance.
No, that's what y'all got.
So will they play in the third place game then? I guess?
There's just one game Thursday.
Oh, gotcha.
So this right here, and I was talking to Wes earlier on my way to work, and he didn't realize this. NHL done it right. You always look for how can we get fans engaged? How can we do this? Get them interested. NHL said, forget the skill challenge, forget the All-Star game. We're doing 4 nations. So this has replaced the NHL All-Star game.
Okay.
So, and I mean, it's a huge hit. We're in Canada, and they boo our national anthem, and we made them pay for it on Saturday night. Thursday, they're coming on our turf. TD Garden.
Oh, okay.
Boston, Massachusetts. I dare you to try to boo in Boston.
Right.
They will shoot you and laugh about it.
Yeah, I can see that.
I dare you to try to boo in Boston.
What time is that game on Thursday?
8 o'clock
Oh, good.
on ESPN.
We'll be done with men's group by then. So.
Why are you acting like you're going to watch it? You're not going to watch it.
Yeah, I'll watch it. There's nothing else to watch on Thursday night.
America's got some boys. The Kachuk brothers, who, by the way, apparently it's a family tradition for them to fight Canadians because their dad did it in the 90s.
He was very popular for that.
Right. Their dad fought them in the 90s. The brothers fought 9 seconds apart the other night. That Kachuk family.
It's just setting the tone.
It really is. Jake Gensel, good player. Had him on the Hurricanes last year. Unfortunately, we couldn't get a deal worked out with him in the offseason. He went away. It's a good bunch of lads.
You're really into this hockey stuff.
Yes. If U.S. is playing, I'm into it no matter what.
Yeah.
The fact that I actually know a few of them, yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
Swayman standing on his head behind the goal.
This is a good leader into, let's see, we have the Winter Olympics next year, right? 2026?
Stupid Sidney Crosby. I still haven't forgave him for taking us a winter gold away. Which, by the way, how's that feel, Sid? You lost. First time Canada has lost with Sidney Crosby in the lineup in his career. They were 26-0-0.
Wow.
With Crosby in the lineup. Take that, Barry Melrose.
It'll be interesting Thursday night, that's for sure.
I really wish I would have put my tweet up on the podcast page instead of my personal page.
Yeah.
Because that tweet done a good number.
Yeah, it did.
It's still going. I think last I looked, it had close to 15,000 views.
Yeah.
That would have been a good number on a podcast page.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Costing us money.
Huh?
It's costing us money.
I know.
We have been starting to do a little better on the X account because we're posting these reels on Facebook and X, and they normally get pretty good traction.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we come pretty darn close to 600,000 views this past month.
Hey!
So is it still called a tweet on X?
There's just a plus button.
But yes,
It's called a post.
I call it Twitter, and I call it a tweet. So
It's called a post, Darren. Or a thread if you want to make multiple posts. It's called a thread.
that's the kind of things that get a lot of traction. There's a lot of those out there that people try to get people to comment on.
Oh my gosh, some of them are pretty informational. Like you can get down a rabbit hole on the U.S. government and their tie-in sometimes.
Well, Kiper, I don't know if you know this or not, but every post, tweet, whatever you want to call it, that we put on our social media is trying to get a comment and a reaction.
No, I'm just saying those thread ones that,
Yeah.
yeah.
I know what you're saying. I'm just saying every post is asking for reaction.
We record this on a Monday. The poll question this morning on our Facebook page was, how'd you feel about the new NBA All-Star Game format? You know there's 2 idiots that put a thumbs up that they enjoyed that.
Well, it wasn't me.
It wasn't me either. I just
me.
looked.
Chase, was it you?
Call him out. Who was it?
Anybody know a Dale Myers?
Nope.
Cadence Smith?
Nope.
That name sounds familiar.
Those were the 2 that put the thumbs up. Then there was 18 people that gave the appropriate response with the thumbs down. It did win me $50 though. There was a layup prop bet last night. I mean, absolute layup. Steph Curry and Dame Lillard to hit 2+ threes. I was like, that's it? Where's the catch? Boom.
Yeah. Well, I had somebody at work today tell me that they liked it, and I'm like, I think it was awful.
So, the NBA, and you all know I'm probably the one that watches NBA more than anybody on this show.
Yep.
The NBA has tried all these things to fix the All-Star game. Oh, we got to fix it. We got to make it more enjoyable for the fan to watch.
There's nothing ever wrong with it.
what you're trying to fix isn't a consumer problem. It's a player problem.
Right.
If these players, you can change the format to play a game of 21, tip it in, and all that crap. If the players ain't going to try, it's not going to matter. People's not going to watch. Yeah. Hockey has buy-in with their All-Star game. NFL, they don't get buy-in because everybody knows their players are not playing hard.
Right. And they're playing flag football.
Right. Baseball has pretty good buy-in because it means something. The winner still gets home field advantage in the World Series.
Correct.
You know what the problem with the NBA All-Star game is? NBA All-Star weekend is right after Super Bowl, which you go from Super Bowl to Daytona 500. Do you want to watch the Super Bowl of racing, or do you want to watch a bunch of players that don't care?
And the fact that
if they put it on a different weekend, you
right.
might get a little better watch.
You wouldn't, though, because it still goes back to the same point. These players got to play hard.
Well,
they got to try.
I mean, the fact that like Wemby and Chris Paul got disqualified in the skills competition because
they tried to find a loophole and actually going hard.
Instead of shooting the ball, they just threw the ball. And now it's come out saying that Wemby asked one of the officials ahead of time if they could do that or not. But the rules state that you have to hit one of the shots. You have to hit one of the shots before you can move on. And they didn't do that. They just threw it.
And then you have LeBron James an hour before the game yesterday announce, yeah, I'm not going to be in uniform tonight.
Yeah. He didn't even get in uniform for the team photo. Did you see that?
Yes, he was in street clothes. You took a spot from somebody who would have loved to have that opportunity, and you didn't have the decency to announce before an hour. If you announce that on Saturday morning, you can fly somebody in there Saturday night and they're ready to go on Sunday, like LaMelo Ball.
Now, we just talked about this 1 week ago, Kiper. And I was talking about how LeBron don't ever play and blah, blah, blah.
Darren, I heard it.
Nail.
I heard it, Darren.
You and Wes sit right there like, oh, yeah, he plays that.
But now, regular games, he don't miss many.
I just want the very next game he was available to play after I made that comment.
It's a game they don't play.
He did not play.
Yeah, you can't count the All-Star game because he'll be ready to play when the break's over with.
But
yeah,
my
because
point
him and
is,
Luke is going to put on a show.
If he has a hangnail, or he was out of Raisin Bran Crunch that morning, he don't play.
That's another topic. Don't ever wonder why I call you an old man if Raisin Bran Crunch is your favorite cereal.
I like what I like.
Can we talk about the good topic?
No, not yet. We're not there yet.
I mean, we're close. We've talked about
LeBron.
We've talked about NHL and how this is off to a massive success. I hope they do this every year. Nothing. I'm going to go on an anti-Canada rant, and if you're Canadian, you might as well just turn this off because this is red, white, and blue night. The best part about it was after they tried to go heavy and emptied the net, we put the dagger right in their heart, made it 3-1, and then after the game, you see P.K. Subban and Mark Messier, two proud Canadian hockey players on ESPN, and they looked absolutely depleted. They look like their mom had just died is what they look like. And Steve Levy over there is smiling ear to ear for all of America.
Yeah, and you know what? It wouldn't have been that big a deal if they hadn't booed the national anthem, I'm pretty sure. I mean, it would have been just a game, but
Sean,
they're booing
it's USA and Canada. It's always a big deal.
It is, but a lot of that has to do with Trump.
No, it doesn't.
And the whole tariff thing.
No, USA's always USA, Canada. It's like soccer, USA and Mexico. It's always been a big thing. So this one means something. And the fact that 9 seconds in we get 3 fights, that just added ice cream to the cake.
Yeah. Do we get more than that on Thursday?
Well, it depends. I mean, Canada won't get their butt kicked again? Because we did it all night Saturday. So we'll see.
I wonder why it's just the 4 nations. Because I mean, you got.
I'm sure there's a reason behind it.
Yeah.
It's probably the top 4 representing nations or something in hockey, maybe.
Yeah.
And then you got these NBA players whining around today. Why don't we do U.S. versus the world in the All-Star game? You still got to play, idiots. That's the problem. You're not playing.
Because the world would actually play defense and the U.S. won't.
Well, see, I baited somebody in today and was like, the world would kill us. And he was like, yeah, they would. And then I broke it down how the world's got like 6 players. We still in the U.S. have 12 players. And then you would still be leaving 5 or 6 guys off that list. We're still winning because we win every Olympics.
But how many on our Olympic squad could go play for somewhere else?
Every one of them. Every single one.
That's what I'm saying.
No, I mean, Embiid.
If they all went, if
Embiid
everybody
plays
went
with us,
if they all went and played for their home country,
that's what they do in the Olympics, and we win.
not all of them.
Embiid was the only one, and he's got dual citizenship. He chose to play for the U.S. He could have played for
Because he
France.
wanted to win a gold medal.
Yeah, he won a gold medal.
I mean, France is probably the closest competitors to us now, basketball-wise.
If you remember, like back in the early 2000s, it was always Spain with the stupid Gasol brothers.
Uh-huh.
And now I'd say you're right. I think it's France. It's probably the closest.
Yeah.
You know who's
Australia.
not close?
Australia's usually pretty good, too.
You know who's not close? Canada.
Because they only have SGA and Murray, I think, on the...
And, R.J. Barrett.
Okay.
And I wanted to say Wiggins. I wanted to say Andrew Wiggins.
I feel like you might be right about that.
But, yeah, who cares? It's our sport, just like hockey is.
So, did you... Like, we saw that...
Be very careful with what you're about to say. I don't want to owe Pat Riley any money.
Matt McClung won 3 slam dunk contests.
Absolutely. I'm glad you worded it that way because, Pat Riley, we can't pay you, buddy.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Well, good luck trying to get it. That's all I can tell you. After he wins that, John Morant tweets out that he's making me want to do the dunk contest, and then Giannis retweets it and says, if you do it, I'll do it. Is Mac McClung going to get our superstars to do the slam dunk contest again?
No. They're just talking about it. They're going to hype everybody up.
That's part of the problem with the weekend is because these competitions that we used to line up to watch, the slam dunk contest and 3-point contest, 24 points won the 3-point contest, which had to be one of the lowest numbers ever.
Probably. And that was Tyler Harrow, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And I mean, 24 didn't even get you into the second round. They both stunk they all 3 stunk in the second round. So, and I mean, like the skills challenge just was an absolute joke.
And I don't know if you all follow Kevin Love or not on X, but he put out a tweet and I had to pull it up because it was
Is that really him?
Yes.
Okay.
It was absolutely hilarious.
Because I thought it was like a news guy or something.
No, it's really him. He absolutely trolls, but he talks how players in the locker room talk. Like, to an average American, what this tweet reads would sound racist, but to people that's been in the locker room with him, like, they know, like, hey, this is just locker room talk.
Yeah.
He said, a great way to fix All-Star Weekend Saturday night. Let the overwhelming majority of the NBA know that Mac McClung has won 3 straight dunk contests during Black History Month.
I saw that tweet, and when I looked on it, it does not say that it's like he's an NBA player or anything. And I was like, well, it's another dude that's made his name Kevin Love.
Nope, it's legit Kevin Love.
He's a funny follow. That's for sure.
He's a good follow. Him and the Jimmy Butler saga was hilarious.
Was he also the one that? Who was the one that tweeted out about the pick six in the Super Bowl?
That was Brandon Walker.
Yeah,
Amazing run for the Whites.
Yeah, pick 6 in the Super Bowl, slam dunk contest winner 3 in a row,
and U.S. hockey
beating
Canada.
Yeah, it's an epic run for the Whites.
That was Brandon Walker.
And all of that happening also in Black History Month. It's pretty funny. But I mean, that Cooper DeJean dude. I mean, it's like he is the one that has caught the most fire out of the Super Bowl. So his rookie cards are going through the roof right now. As far as the cost of them and stuff, not a good time to buy a Cooper DeJean football card. That's for sure.
No,
because you're buying at the peak of his market right now. So crazy. So what's the fix for the All-Star weekend?
I just told you. You have to have the players try again. You have to.
Well, it definitely can't have a mid-game Mr. Beast contest, and
that was pretty cool though. The fan win $100,000.
I don't disagree with that, but you don't do that in the middle of the basketball game.
No, probably not the best timing.
Yeah, I mean they didn't even play like a full game. I saw the breakdown of everything, and that was kind of crazy.
Draymond Green said the game is boring. Did you see what Oscar Robertson said?
No.
Oscar Robertson said that's his opinion, and the game probably is boring because all he does is pass to Steph Curry. He said if Steph Curry's not on his team, he don't know what to do.
Well, I mean, I know he's not liking these the rising stars being just put into the All-Star game. He's like, you used to have to earn it, blah, 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 this and that. And
yeah, these old heads can shut up, too. I ain't a fan of the old heads dogging on these young players. Now, can they try harder? Absolutely. Should they try harder? Absolutely. But at the same time, there's no accountability.
Yeah.
Like the commissioner's not making them go out and play.
Right.
Do it like baseball.
Yeah.
Make the game matter to where the winner, the East or the West, you forget the record, you get home court in the finals.
Yeah.
That's how you fix it.
Yeah.
Make them care about it. Now, you're still going to have your scrub players. It's like, I ain't going to the finals anyway.
Yeah. I mean, I saw something today that someone said that LeBron James has single-handedly ruined the NBA.
LeBron, as a basketball player, has held up the NBA for a long time.
Yeah.
It's time for somebody else to hold it up, as we're probably a year away from LeBron hanging it up.
Yeah. But LeBron, the politician.
Well, you got to be able to separate it, though.
Yeah.
You got to be able to separate LeBron, the person, and LeBron, the basketball player. You have to do it with anything, not just basketball.
Yeah.
Like music. There was a time where I was like, well, I ain't listening to their music anymore because they're woke. If you do that, you're going to be listening to nothing. You're going to be listening to NPR talk radio. That's what you're going to be listening to. I mean, think about it, even this podcast. We talk about Trump quite a bit. If you're that political, you're not listening to this podcast because we only talk about one can. We only made fun of Biden. We never really talked good about him. Mm-hmm. So people would turn this on. Listen at those right-wing idiots. Suck it, Canada. You're in our country now.
If Biden would have ever done anything good worth talking about, we would have talked about him. Huh? He just don't do anything good worth talking about.
Which, by the way, Sean Ryan show podcast he had with Lindy Lou. Go listen to it if you want the inside scoop of the Biden. That's all I want to say.
Well, speaking of Trump,
that was awesome.
Did you see that he led the pay? You think he was driving? There's no way he was driving, but that would have been hilarious.
He was in the back waving.
It would have been hilarious if he would have got in there and just, I'm driving this son of a bitch.
And Darren, you probably saw this. he actually got on the radio to
And
radio
talked to
all
the
drivers. Unfortunately, it was that audio was not released on Fox, but it was on the Sirius XM NASCAR radio channel, like the audio message he had for the drivers.
It was.
Or the drivers couldn't hear it. That's what it was. The drivers couldn't hear it, but it was played on Fox and NASCAR radio. But the drivers couldn't hear it in their car for whatever reason.
Really?
Yep.
Huh.
But he talked to all the drivers.
I think his message was a little fumbly.
Little awesome.
It
because
wasn't-
we're Americans.
I mean, it was good. It wasn't what I would have expected.
Would you expect Trump to say boogity, boogity, boogity,
Yes,
boys, let's go
absolutely,
racing?
100%.
Not a
I would
chance.
have died.
Boogity, boogity, a great big boogity. Let's go racing.
Believe me, this will be the greatest race ever.
It's gonna be huge.
It's going to be saw by millions, not millions, but billions of people.
gonna be huge. Really huge.
Huge. It's the greatest sport there ever was.
What about the fact that I nailed at least 2 wrecks in the last 20 laps?
You did nail that.
Yeah.
You did.
And it was actually 3.
It was funny because, like, they said on the broadcast, was like, it's going to happen. It's going to happen in positions 5 through 25 about that time.
Yeah. It's like,
So
Almost like it was staged. Almost like it was staged.
You no longer, you said, Blaney's going to hang in here and win this. And then I go, there's going to be at least 2 wrecks in the last 20 laps. It wasn't 2 laps. It was 2.
the biggest announcer's curse, commentator curse, whatever you want to call it, is Mike Joy talking about Joey Logano was plus 700 to win, and that's who he was putting his money on. And Clint Boyer and Kevin Harvick actually put money on right then. 2 laps later, Logano slams the wall.
Stupid Ricky Stenhouse.
That I saw. I told y'all before the show, I had to take Laney home, so I had to pause. So I was behind. So I went back and had read through the group text after I watched the rest of the race.
Right.
I can't remember exactly who said it was Logano. It was not Ricky.
It was me, and then when I saw the replay of it, that's when I said, "Oh,
that was Ricky Stenhouse doing Ricky Stenhouse stuff. He's an idiot
Thank you, Daron.
and never should be allowed to sit in the seat again. He's horrible.
He does this crap all the time.
Ricky
And then he goes
Stenhouse,
to pit road throwing haymakers like he's a big boy.
There's a reason that he was an Xfinity champion and never done anything when he got into the big show because he's horrible.
He has won a Daytona though."
There's a reason Danica Patrick
A
left him.
blind squirrel finds a nut every once in a while.
I mean,
Derek Cope won a Daytona 500.
gosh almighty, that's so terrible.
1993, I think.
Probably in that neighborhood.
But
Logano
how did he win it? He won it because everybody wrecked in front of him, and he got pushed across the line first before he spun. The 3 cautions in the last 30, it's Daytona. I told Jessica that's going to happen. That's just Daytona.
Logano had the fastest car, though, right?
He did.
Like, if Stenhouse isn't an idiot, Logano probably wins.
If I had put money on the race, I would have put money on Logano. He is one of those.
I thought my Cindric pick was going to win there. But every time
I
somebody
knew
catch up
Cindric
with
would.
him, he'd get past.
I knew Cindric would.
But I mean, he
couldn't-
led so many laps.
Yeah.
But did he lead him because he had the best car? Or did he lead him because he's the best in the front of the line? He led because
That's a
he's
good
in the
point.
best in front of the line.
Because you saw what
he
happened.
knows what to do. Everybody will tell you, and they commented on it yesterday a bunch. He's the best pusher and he's the best line leader. Fast at a restrictor plate race is who do you have behind you pushing? Do they know what they're doing?
Yeah.
And who is up front and knows how to manipulate both lines at the same time?
And he had Blaney, his teammate, right behind him. And once Blaney wrecked out on that first wreck, then he didn't have anybody to go with him.
Stupid
I'm here to tell you,
Stenhouse.
if Cindric had taken the white flag in the lead and Blaney not wrecked, Blaney wins that race. Blaney would not. Blaney pushing Cindric was fast. Ryan Blaney ain't gonna let him win that race. He's gonna ditch him like a bad habit coming off turn 4, and Blaney wins, and Cindric finishes 20-something.
Yeah.
Because he's gonna hang him out to dry. Because once they hit turn 3 in the Daytona 500, it is Katie bar the door.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's why I love watching Daytona. Daytona 500 more than the fall race. The 500, nobody cares. They want the prestige of saying I won the 500. Yep. And when they hit the back stretch of the white flag lap, it is on like Donkey Kong. It don't matter who's in your way, who signed your paycheck. You know, heaven forbid Bubba ever have a chance, but Denny Hamlin put his boss right in the wall.
Yeah. What about old Jimmy Johnson?
Pulled off a number 3.
Last week you said he's going in the wall in the first 20 laps.
And what did he do? He spun on lap it wasn't 20, it was like lap 22. But that's because they run, 7 under caution.
Yeah.
If you look at full pace laps, Jimmy Johnson wrecked in the first 20 laps of the race. Now, he did come back and finish 3rd.
Because everybody else crashed out. I mean, Blaney ended up finishing 7th.
Right.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Ryan Preece,
And
if
that was
I
the
him,
craziest
I would
thing
get
of
my
it.
pilot's license.
That's the craziest thing I've seen.
And then William Byron just somehow managed to go from 9th to 1st by just dodging all them cars.
Right.
He learned the 5 Ds of dodgeball. Helped him in NASCAR. But
Yeah.
like that Ryan Preece wreck, I was talking to Wes on my way to work this morning. I was like, since they've made these safety features, I've never seen a car go airborne like that.
I've been around racing since I popped out of the womb.
You came out with a Praise Dale shirt on.
That's right. Raise hell, praise Dale, baby. Dale's not dead. He's just a lap ahead.
I mean,
Absolutely.
are you just saying this new car going airborne?
He said he's never seen any car.
I've never seen any car go up.
I mean,
I have
Indy
never
cars.
seen a car pop a wheelie.
The
and
wheelie
just
was the
take
craziest thing.
I've seen one jump a tire,
Yeah.
but when they jump the tire, I mean, they do that in dirt racing all the time. Open wheel modifieds or IndyCar, the front wheels are wide open. So jumping a tire is nothing, but the car comes back down.
Right.
He jumped a tire, and I don't know if you all seen it or not. I saw a meme on Facebook today. It was a screenshot of X, but it showed
Ricky Bobby?
It showed Air Force One taking off from Daytona with Ryan Preece next to him.
Internet always wins.
And they're at the same angle.
Internet always wins.
But jumping a tire is jumping a tire. But he jumped the tire and then maintained that angle, for what? 3 seconds?
At
so
least.
you look at the speed they're going,
Yes.
he went 5 football fields maybe at that angle and then took off. And I told Jessica when it happened last night, had he had not finished his barrel roll,
right.
because when he backed into the wall, tires down.
Yep.
If he would have backed into the wall, tires up, he would have went over
Probably.
because of the way the wall's not very tall up
Right.
there. It's only about 36 inches. So you look at roof to deck lid, the spoiler's really the only thing catching him, and he's going out of the ballpark.
And the roof flaps didn't even come out until his already stopped.
Well, and they kept talking about that on the race yesterday, and you got to think about it. You can't fix that problem.
Right.
Because if you do, they were talking about put something, with these new cars, they're completely flat on the bottom.
Right.
Is that part of the problem? Yes. Did it fix a lot of other problems? Yes. So I'm, the smooth bottom, I'm a fan of that just for what it does for the cars. But how do you fix that? You can't, because those cars are made to have maximum downforce going forward.
Right.
Well, I can't have a flap that pops up when I'm going forward.
That's true. Wes
That's
said,
the only thing that would fix that problem.
when Wes and I were talking about it earlier today, he said, well, roof flap probably won't come open while you're in the middle of the air, probably wondering, like, how'd I get up here?
Roof flaps work on negative pressure.
Right.
So when the car turns backwards or it turns sideways, and the reason the one is turned at a 45 is because most time you spin, how are you spinning? You're spinning counterclockwise. As soon as that air breaks loose and that negative pressure pulls the roof flap up, and you'll physically watch that car slam back to the ground. But the only way to keep Ryan Preece on the ground last night is he had to have a flap that opened while he's going forward.
Right.
Well, okay, you could say, we'll just put a switch in there and have something. Well, first of all,
You're not going to think about that when you're crapping your pants.
Being a former race car driver, you don't have that kind of time to think. You got all that kind of time to think.
Hold up. You've drove race cars before?
Dirt track, yeah, up until about 10 or 12 years ago.
Darren, I learn more and more about you every time we record.
He's big about this racing stuff.
Well, I knew he was big about the racing stuff.
Still wraps race cars.
Yeah, we still let her race cars.
Yeah, I mean, I knew that, but like there was one time he was a cross country runner. I learned that.
No, you didn't learn that from me. Oh, I run
5K.
5Ks.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
And then you umpired baseball,
Basketball.
See, I learned a lot about him on these shows. Now I know you used to drive race cars.
But you don't have enough time once that starts to think to hit a switch. That's number one. Number two, what makes the best, we'll go back, Sean, talking about Jimmy Johnson and Chad Knaus winning all those championships. Why did they win all those championships?
They cheated.
But how did they cheat? They didn't get caught.
Right.
That's racing. Racing is trying to find you
living in the gray area.
Good race car drivers and teams live in the gray.
Yeah.
So if I have a switch that's going to deploy a little chute to keep my car on the ground when Ryan Preece's wreck starts happening, how can I use that to make this thing go faster?
Right.
Somebody is going to take that and turn it into something bad. Go back to the Dale Earnhardt, Darrell Waltrip feud days, back when they were trying anything and everything to make them faster. When they first come out with roof flaps, they figured out a way to make roof flaps come up by the driver pushing something beside the seat to give them more downforce on the roof of the car. They come up with a safety feature, and what did racers do? They figured out how to use it to their advantage.
Right.
So there's no way to stop Ryan Preece's thing, but that was probably the most epic wreck I've ever seen, and it just so happens it's the last two times Ryan Preece has raced at Daytona that he has become Clint Boyer at this point.
That was when he popped the wheelie. I started to wonder if he's ever going to come down because it almost looked like your TV was buffering. He was up there so long.
Yeah, I thought that you have YouTube TV just like I do.
Right.
I thought my screen froze.
Yeah. And I mean, his angle didn't change either.
No.
It stayed at that same angle, and I was like, what in the world's happening? And then he eventually just barrel rolled and shout out to NASCAR for not being afraid to show anything. They show that camera angle inside the car, and you see
They showed every
right after he hits, you see him tuck his head and brace for impact.
The one thing I applaud NASCAR on, and really all sports are getting that way. All sports are getting to where they have multiple angles. But one thing you don't see, like in the Indy cars and drag cars and stuff like that, is the number of angles that you get watching a NASCAR race.
Right.
Anything that happens, it used to be, well, we didn't have a camera. Our camera was over here. We didn't see how that guy wrecked. We saw either the beginning of it, but the cameraman missed it, or we caught the tail end of it. Now, anything that happens in one of those races, they have.
Every car has like the same cameras,
at least 10
right?
different angles.
Yeah.
The best part was after Ryan Preece's crash was over, you see that guy standing on the tower in the infield, and he's just like this. Like, just shocked what just happened.
What just happened?
You think Kyle Busch was wrong in what he said about Logano?
No.
I don't either.
I didn't hear that. What did he say?
He said he felt like it was Logano's fault because he had the fastest car on the racetrack, and he was trying to make a hole where there wasn't a hole. If he'd just been patient, he'd been all right.
That's what say. There
was a hole there until
Idiot came down.
Yeah, until Stenhouse tried to cut him
Well,
off.
but what Kyle Busch is saying, Logano's a champion. A champion knows that hole ain't going to be there when I get there. There was a hole there. And that's why I blame Stenhouse for the wreck and not Logano. But I can also say that Kyle Busch is not wrong.
Yeah.
Logano is a champion. A champion knows that hole is going to close up, and it's going to close up fast.
Kyle Busch is on an epic losing streak, and it's driving him insane.
Yeah.
I mean, he was running.
He didn't win it all last year, right?
He was running good yesterday until stupid Stenhouse gets him involved in that crash.
Well, but that's also Kyle Busch is, or has proved, in my opinion, it's all about the equipment. Kyle Busch was the greatest thing since sliced cheese when he was in JGR equipment. Now he's in Childress equipment. Childress equipment is not as good. And
it hasn't been.
He won that first year, and then last year he didn't win at all.
Yeah.
Childress has not figured out these new cars.
Did Kurt retire? I didn't see his name yesterday.
Kurt Busch?
Yeah.
He retired.
He medically retired. Actually,
it was concussions, right?
No, Dale Jr. was concussions. Kurt's was concussion related.
Yeah.
But his was something different that they don't talk about. But he did get medically cleared. There was a chance that he was going to try to run this year. He was cleared to come back if he wanted to for limited races, just like Dale Jr. is cleared to run limited races.
Right.
But he's promised his wife that he will not run super speedways. Well, guess what? If Dale Jr. is going to sit in the car, where do you want to see him at? I want to see him at Daytona or Talladega because that's where he...
Talladega.
I've been to Talladega.
I've been to Talladega. I've been to Daytona.
You don't realize how big that thing is. You literally cannot see the cars on the other side of the track.
Wow.
They look like little ants.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, look at it.
And then it's like thunder. You can hear them just the closer they get, and then it's just like, whoop, 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 and they go right past.
When they're on the backstretch, you can't hear nothing.
Yeah.
It's silent.
Yeah.
Dang.
It is the craziest thing.
I
want to go to Daytona.
The most fun track's Bristol.
I haven't been to Bristol.
Bristol's always a good time.
I have not been to Bristol.
I've been to Bristol once.
We haven't been to me and Elizabeth used to go all the time. We've been to Charlotte.
Maybe that's what we need to do this year. Let's go to Bristol, baby. Yeah.
There you go. KSR does a KSR road trip. We need to do a from corner to corner road trip. We'll go whatever Bristol's in September, so there'll be sports playing. So we'll find some spots to go on our way to Bristol, all the way and watch the Bristol night race.
That's what I was about to say. The night race, definitely. Why they keep doing this?
So
one?
Todd Jacobs, if you're listening,
Why they keep doing this one in April? It always gets rained out and moved to Monday.
what?
Why they keep doing this Bristol race in April? The spring Bristol race always gets rained out.
You got 39 weeks to fit in 36 races.
Are they doing the mud on it again this year?
No.
No, they got rid of that.
Dirt at Bristol is gone. There will be no dirt this year, but there will be next year.
And then, where did I see? Which racetrack is it that the Braves and Reds are playing?
Bristol.
Bristol.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, that could be a Bristol trip. You ain't going to see no racing. But,
That'd be one
They
hell of
just
a
showed
center
you-
field fence.
okay,
Gosh.
you talk about how big Talladega is. Think about that one for a second.
Yeah.
They're putting a Major League Baseball field inside
The
the
infield.
second smallest racetrack
Yeah.
on the Cup Series.
That's kind of crazy.
It's like putting a football field in Yankee Stadium.
Now,
Of course, they got to run into the walls on the end zones on that.
The baseball field, this is the first year for it, but that's not the first time they've done that. The Tennessee has played, I know 3 years, played a football game at Bristol.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where they put a turf football field down inside.
I remember them doing that.
But there you go. You put a full-size regulation Division I football field inside.
There ain't
Bristol.
no telling what the tickets would cost for that Reds Braves game.
Oh, I guarantee you they're at least $200-300 a piece.
Probably.
What's the date?
I don't remember.
MLB's stupid. They don't sell their tickets early.
I can tell you it's between April and October because there's NASCAR race in April and October.
I mean, you got to figure it's going to be after the April race.
August 2nd.
Yeah, okay. Oh, God. Be hotter than Hades down there.
Saturday at 7 p.m. Let's see here.
Now, Adam, that's another one. We was talking about Talladega. You can hear the cars going down the back stretch. At Bristol, you can hear the golf cart on the far side.
Well, that's interesting the way they've got that.
Yeah. Looks like they got about half the track. Ticket price is not crazy high.
No, $80.
But you're sitting back against the wall.
Yeah. Huh.
That's not bad. $77. After fees, it's $105 a ticket.
That's really not bad.
It's really not, a lot better than I thought it would be.
Yeah, I mean, I totally expected it to be a couple $100 a ticket. Of course, I mean, they want people to get there, so I mean, we might have to look into that.
Now, I did see
Be hot,
today Tony Stewart.
That was about the same time of the year we went to SummerSlam.
That was miserable hot.
Yeah.
At the Guardians baseball game, that was some heat.
Tony Stewart's about to set records. I saw this right before I came to the studio today. You know, he owns
How many
Eldora,
guys killed
the
in
dirt track. This month, $3 million to win for dirt late models. February 30th and 31st, 2025.
That's a lot of money for a dirt track.
Chase was snoring, and then he looked at me with smiling. He tricked me.
Yeah, it's past his bedtime.
Did you not catch that?
I was too confused.
How many days are in February, Sean?
28.
When did I say the race was?
Oh, 30th and 31st of February.
$3 million to win, $500,000 to start. 100-lap feature, February 30th and 31st, 2025. I saw that right before I come down here.
Okay. Is he just joking or something? Or
Obviously, Sean, there's no
Obviously,
February
there's no
30th and 31st.
well, I mean,
February.
like, what's the purpose of the post? I mean,
Just to get everybody excited and then they
Because-
see the date.
oh, gotcha.
I can go back and look. When I looked at it, it had like 100 and something thousand views.
Why do
That's
we,
why.
You need to make up something stupid and get us, get us one of them big fancy 200,000 post type posts.
Hey, I had, who was it? Mark Collier coming to coach Kentucky, and I got yelled at because that was dumb. That's one of the best posts we've ever had.
Who yelled at you and said it was dumb?
I did say it was stupid. I did say
Well, I
that.
mean, it was Collier's idea, so
I did say that. I will take full responsibility for that one.
yeah, that was totally.
That was
Collier.
breaking news. Mark Allen is the new coach of Kentucky.
I miss my buddy Mark. Heard from him the other day. He's doing good.
That's good.
Let's pick some games.
Let's pick games. All right, we have USA and Canada Thursday night. Sean, who you got?
USA 2-1.
USA 10-0. Suck it, Canada.
Oh, no. USA.
You do have a red hat. It did kind of get me worried a little bit.
I'm not going to go 10. I'm going to say 3-1.
Oh, USA defense has been pretty solid this whole four champions event, so we'd probably put 10 in the back of the net.
Maybe.
Gosh, I'm going to be so let down if we end up losing.
Oh, the last NASCAR thing I'll say, Breadman ain't here tonight.
How did y'all do this week?
Breadman picks second because he had Tyler Reddick. I picked right before him.
And who did you pick?
I picked Ross Chastain.
He was out of the race.
Oh, no.
He wrecked in the first wreck. So
Oh,
Guess who picks 20th going into week 2?
Well,
Me. Guess who picks second going into week 2? Wes.
Hey,
very-
Tyler Reddick's a good pick on that game always.
did you not get in it
dropped
this year?
the ball on that one.
No, I didn't do it last year either.
Okay.
It's
Too time consuming.
no, I'm just not any good at it, and it's just a waste of $30.
But yet he asked me for that 75 every time in baseball and football.
Chase liked that one too there.
But yeah,
Very first thing I asked Wes this morning, did y'all let that lady get William Byron again this year?
no, she picked 20th and she got Alex Bowman at 20.
Well, he had a pretty good finish, didn't he?
She's probably pretty happy.
I think she's up there.
So she'll probably get William Byron at Atlanta.
I totally missed Tyler because, well, and Sean can. So the way it's done, I don't know if we've told you or not. It's a group text,
Yes.
but you just copy and paste.
Yes.
So you're looking when you're picking 17th.
You're
or
looking at
18th.
it. Yeah.
You're looking through everybody and then looking back at you. And I totally dropped the ball. I missed that Tyler Reddick had not been picked yet, or I'd have picked him because he was fast all week. I didn't even look at him because I just had to assume that he's already been picked.
Gotcha.
So I'm looking at somewhere. What in the world was that?
they closed that door, and he jumped out of his chair.
You know, when you know you're picking 17th or 18th, you know about where you need to look.
Yeah.
So I looked right in there, and that's how I come up with Chastain. And then I just kind of scanned down the list and didn't see Chastain. And I said, okay, I got to pick because he was like 13th or 14th. Never even saw that Reddick was not on the list. And then Breadman says, yes, Reddick at 18. And I'm like, son of a... I would not have took Bowman.
No.
He just doesn't finish well. That's if
Told you should have took Jimmy Johnson.
Well,
I thought about it.
he would have been picking higher up, wouldn't he, Sean?
Right. Yep, he'd been picking third.
So this week at Atlanta, have y'all already made picks or?
No.
They start as soon as he puts the points out Monday morning. So this week at Atlanta, Wes picks number 2 and I pick number 20. And let's see.
Last year's winner was
Blaney, Elliott, Byron, Busher. Sherry took Bowman at 20, and she picks 4th. So Blaney, Elliott, Byron, Busher, and Logano are already off the board. They're on pick number 6. I will be picking
front
after
row
qualifying.
motorsports and all that crap.
Well, that's
the best part about picking last is you can wait.
Picking last is you get
qualifying's
whoever-
over with, and you find that one in the rough that qualified 8th that nobody picked, and you're like, I'll take that dude.
so. With the 20th pick, I will take the highest qualifier that has not been picked yet.
Right.
That may be Carl Long.
All right. So, one final thing, we'll wrap it up. Our SNL tournament ended today, Monday, and it was let's see, Matt Foley and Gene Frankel, right? Frankel, in the final matchup. The matchup
Matt
of
Foley laid the smackdown.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Gene Frankel laid an egg, because that's
Gene
what he
Frankel did lay an egg. Matt
Yeah.
Foley laid the smackdown.
Yeah.
So the SNL championship will be living in a van down by the river. Matt Foley.
I called that. I told you before we ever started this that he would win it, because to me he is the most popular character to ever be on SNL. And just because everybody knows who he is right off the bat.
Yeah.
So now our next tournament, we're going to do cereal. So we need to try to figure out what we're going to do with that. Whether that's going to be
Raisin Bran Crunch.
32 or 16.
8.
I feel like 16 would be okay.
I think 16 is plenty for a cereal.
Yeah. Do you think we should do the
No.
athletes as a tournament, or us like use 10 episodes and break down 5 each week?
Neither. I just think we talk about it amongst ourselves.
Well, I mean, the guys on the show last week were kind of pumped about having it as a tournament.
Are they going to listen to the show? Probably not.
No, but they would vote on it maybe.
How many times has Sam Sutton, Jamin Caba, Jace Mays, or Jordan Howard ever voted
I
on
don't
one of
know.
our contests?
I don't know. I know Caden Reed comments on our stuff all the time, though.
Well,
Caden Reed quotes or comments on our stuff from the locker room.
Yeah.
Literally right after the game. Not even got his uniform off yet. He was player of the game last week and had already commented on the reel before he came up for the interview.
That's awesome.
I didn't even put that together, but you're right. He did.
Yeah.
Yeah. He commented the game Adam and I done. He commented on the reel before he came up for the interview.
That's awesome. All right. You guys got anything else?
Nope.
All right. That's going to be it for this week. Be back next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Catch you next week.
We're still waiting on you.
USA. USA. USA.
If you ain't first, you're last.